Trauma unexamined becomes tradition. Fear unchallenged becomes fate. You either rewrite the loop or you pass it down. That's the consequence. Every pattern you don't face is like a virus in your operating system. You don't debug it. You just pass the corrupted code to the next generation. That's what people call karma, when really, it's just neuroscience and epigenetics, with a poetic coat of paint. Think of it this way. Imagine a grandfather screaming at his kids every time he's stressed. He never examines why. Maybe his father did it to him. Maybe war did it to him. Maybe hunger, maybe shame, doesn't matter. He doesn't stop to look. He passes it to his son. Now the son grows up swearing. He'll never be like his dad. Well, guess what? He ends up doing the exact same shit in a new costume. That's tradition. Fear's no different. Imagine a tribe that never crosses the river. Because once, generations ago, a kid drowned. Nobody ever examined it. No one dared to test the water again. 300 years later, their descendants still live on half the land, half the opportunity. That's what fear unchallenged becomes faith actually means. So how do you already do this? You do it in small ways daily. You touch a hot stove once, learn from it, and stop repeating. That's rewriting a loop. You check your math homework, catch the error, fix it, move forward. That's trauma examined. You stand up to a bully once and suddenly their spell is broken. That's fear challenged. So don't pretend you don't know how. You already do it. You just avoid the big ones. The ones that scare you because they carry family weight, cultural shame, or ancestral silence. How can you do it in new ways? Write down the shit you keep repeating. Arguments, habits, fears. And trace where the hell they came from. Flip the script. Ask, what is this pattern trying to protect me from? Fear always thinks it's a guard dog, but often it's just a mutt, barking at shadows. Expose the loop. Say it out loud, even if your voice shakes. When secrets hit air, they rot. Why is this important? Because unexamined trauma breeds cycles like bacteria in a petri dish. Left unchecked, they grow teeth. Because unchallenged fear quietly becomes your master. You'll swear you're free, but you'll live inside an invisible fence built decades before you were born. Because the world doesn't need your recycled ghosts. It needs your examined presence. The science, neuroplasticity. The brain wires itself around repeated patterns. Face the pattern, rewire the loop. Epigenetics. Trauma literally codes itself into your biology. A study on mice shocked them when smelling cherries. Their grandkids feared cherries without even being shocked. That's how deep it goes. Behavioral psychology. What you don't face, you repeat until it runs you into a wall. What you face, you integrate. So why are you afraid to do it? Because opening the box feels scarier than dragging it. Because you imagine people will judge you. Newsflash, they're already judging you. Might as well be for breaking cycles instead of repeating them. Because your nervous system screams danger when you poke an old wound. But that alarm is outdated. The tiger's been dead for 50 years. Here's the kicker. Confusion cracks the shell. When the brain hits paradox, I want to heal, but it hurts to look. That's the opening door for change. That's the trance moment. In NLP, we call it a pattern interrupt. The loop stutters, and in that pause, you can rewrite. The traps you've been stuck in. Thinking time heals, wrong. Time just buries it. Believing silence is strength. No, silence is surrender. Waiting for permission. No one's coming to hand you a hall pass. Mistaking fear for intuition. Fear shrinks, intuition expands. Learn the difference. And as you hear this now, your unconscious is already sorting patterns, like files rearranging themselves. Every time you notice a reaction you used to ignore, you're already rewriting the code. Every time you breathe into a fear, instead of turning away, you're already breaking the chain. And every time you choose truth over silence, you're planting freedom where inheritance once lived. If you do this, your kids inherit laughter instead of rage. Your body stops carrying someone else's storm. Your relationships stop replaying scripts older than you are. If you don't, you'll wake up one day and see your father's ghost staring back at you in the mirror. Your mother's silence echoing in your voice, your ancestors' chains binding your children. So let's be clear. Trauma unexamined becomes tradition. Fear unchallenged becomes faith. You either rewrite the loop, or you fucking pass it down. And if you pass it down, don't pretend you didn't know the cost. But if you break it, you don't just heal yourself. You become the ancestor every future generation thanks. The one who stood up, opened the locked door, looked the monsters in the eye, and discovered it was only dust and air. That's the work. That's the consequence. That's the choice.